Inforbix xTables is an Inforbix product data application that aggregates data located in various data silos within your company in tabular form. Let's see how that would work with Inforbix using a real-life use case. Let's start by creating a table of all the SolidWorks documents that were drawn by an individual called Josh. So what Inforbix now has done using xTables is present all the SolidWorks drawings that were associated or related to a guy named Josh. So what we're next going to do is we're going to create a report using xTables that's meaningful to me. So let's say for this example that I have been asked to collect all the SolidWorks drawings drawn by Josh that were done back in 2008 because there's a project review that has now come back into 4 and we need to go back and look at some older drawings for this particular project. So how would I be able to now go back and find drawings that were done back in 2008 and do that in a very intuitive and easy fashion? Well, that's what xTable is going to help me do. So you notice here that everything is presented in tabular format and there are columns. So the first thing I'd like to do is to say, well, I'd like to create the columns that help collect the information that's meaningful to me. So now I'm going to choose the columns that are relevant to me, and the ones that are not, I'm just going to simply delete. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the drawings that were drawn by Josh. They were checked by a particular individual. So let me go ahead and say the check. So I can go here and just drag and drop and start creating. And what I'm doing is I'm finding the various columns that are relevant to me. I also want approved, so I want to create a report that has who approved these files. And of course, I'd like to have now when they were last modified because I'd like to find those that were last modified within 2008. So now these look like the columns that I want, so I'm going to hit OK. And now Inforbix has now structured the table in a way that I think would be meaningful to me. So let's say drawn by, checked by, approved by, last modified. Now the one thing remaining here is to show the filters. The reason is because you'll note that down here there's almost 500 drawings by Josh that are SolidWorks drawing that are relevant. Now, not all of these are the ones that I want, so I want to specifically filter. So let's see how Inforbix would do that. So using xTable. So I want all the drawings that were drawn by Josh, that were checked by his colleague, Wanamaker, and that were approved by a guy named Hill, and then the last day modified. This is the key because this is where I'd like to now choose all the documents that were checked, or rather modified, in 2008, and of course have all the other various attributes. So starting on the 1st of January and running through December of 2008, and I'm just going to choosing the dates here. So that'll be 2008, the 31st. So let's see, I think that's it. So I have almost 500 documents. Once I click and it filters, I go from 500 to 10 documents. So now what I've done is, using xTables, I've created a report that includes all the drawings drawn by Josh that were checked by Wanamaker, approved by Hill, that were modified in 2008. And Inforbix knows where this data is, so it went out there, and regardless of what data silo these were in, it collected them together and presented them in a way that was meaningful to me and allowed me to do a little bit of slicing and dicing. That is xTables. Thank you.